Hi guys, Alec, Peirce Scuba with another Vintage Scuba episode, and this one is kind of interesting because this is another one of our weird things. I think this is what, Weird Thing 6, Kevin? I think it's Weird Thing 6, 5 or 6, and this particular one we're going to have a bit of fun. Weird Things, what is it? Yeah, Weird Things, what is it? And I have with me a couple of extras we pulled in off the street. They were actors looking for a job. Actually, these are my two granddaughters, two of my granddaughters. I have more granddaughters. Two of my granddaughters. This young lady over here, almost as tall as me, what are you doing? Is Rain. And Rain is a scuba diver. That's right. She is a scuba diver. She's 14 years old and a scuba diver. 15 or 14? 14. And she is a scuba diver. And this is Rory. Rory, my little outdoor specialist and actor. She actually has taken acting lessons, unlike me. She actually knows what she's doing. And she is 10 next week. Apparently that's an age, 10 next week. And at 10 next week, you can take the scuba diving course. So she'll be a scuba diver too, we hope, very soon. Okay, Weird Things, what is it? Here's what we're going to do today. Now you guys play along out there, okay? There's no prizes for this, by the way. And we're going to see if my two lady friends here can tell me what it is. You try it as well. Okay, here we go. Weird stuff number one. That sure looks like a, what is this?
M&M.
M&M? An M&M, that's right, this is an M&M. But it's actually a scuba item. So what do you think it is? What do you think it is?
A timer.
A timer?
It looks like a timer.
That's there's a dial on there. Yeah, you're quite right. What do you think it is, besides the fact it's obviously a scuba diver? Any idea? Well, we can't take too long in this video, so I'm going to tell you what it is. This is a radio. Da, 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 da. You see over here, it's got on and volume. And this side over here is a dial, AM, FM. You change AM and FM, and this is a shower radio. It's just that silly. Just that silly. You hang this in your shower, and when you're having a shower, you can listen to the radio. But it's obviously a scuba diver, and it's pretty old. So there you go. Weird stuff number one. Not bad, not bad. Let's try another one, okay? All right, here we go. This is a little bit harder. A little bit harder. Some of the real vintage divers out there might recognize this right away. Let's see if you recognize it. Weird stuff. What is it?
A bomb.
A water bottle.
Good try. Good try. What do you think? Pick it up. Pick it up. What do you think it is?
It's a bomb.
A bomb?
It's gonna explode.
She thinks it's a bomb. You've been watching too many Sea movies. Well, look inside. That's cheating. Any idea what it is? Water bottle's a good guess, but no. Good for rum and coke. You can get lots of ice cubes in there. Well, let's open it and see what's inside, okay? If you open this up, you'll find inside, this is a decompression meter, an automatic decompression meter. I'm sure that a lot of you vintage divers out there recognize this device. It was known as a Bend-o-Matic. It wasn't very good. It was a very old, this is from the 60s, a very old decompression meter. Didn't work all that well, so sometimes you could use this meter and still get bent, hence Bend-o-Matic. But anyway, it was put in this case. This was a special case made for this computer, O-ring sealed, because with the old gauges, all gauges, pressure gauges, depth gauges, and early computers, they had to be sealed if you took them onto an airplane and the pressure dropped. If they weren't sealed tightly, you would ruin the device. It would break. And there you go. So this is just a box to hold a gauge. That's all it is. Kind of neat though, huh? All right. Okay, let's see what this is. Here we go. What is this? Hold that there. Hold that, Rain. What do you think it is?
A rod.
A rod. For what? Fishing? What's this thing down here? Show that to Kevin. He'll take a close-up of it. Tip it down a little bit there. Hold still now. Well, once again, I think some of the vintage divers out there might know what it is, especially if they're spear fishermen. Yep, this is for a spear gun. This is for an old Maori spear gun, a pneumatic gun, see? You feel the air coming out? And so you would put this into the spear gun and pump it up, and you could watch this gauge, and it would tell you if the gauge was full or not. And when it got full, then you could use that spear gun to spear fish. The pressure of the air. Kind of a weird old thing as well. Okay, another one. Now, all vintage divers out there have seen tank valves. You've all seen tank valves. And this is a tank valve. It's a pretty common tank valve. It's made by Scubapro. Do we have that other tank valve with the gauge in it? Is there? This is a Scubapro valve. They don't make this one anymore, trust me on that. But it's kind of weird. You know what a tank valve is, of course, because you're a diver. And you'll be learning about these very soon. This is what goes on top of the tank. You know that. Controls the air. But this is kind of weird. It has no on-off knob. There's no knob anywhere. Oh, well, actually there is. See it? On the back. Now, this has got to be odd. You scuba divers out there, I'd be willing to bet you've not seen one of these. This is a little, it's not a knob, it's a lever. And there's a plastic lock on it. So you see, you pull up on the plastic lock and swing it over like that. You turn it on. And then it locks there, it can't move. And you want to turn it off, you lift it and swing it back to off. It's actually marked on and off. You see that, Kevin? Yep. Again, an old valve and weird as well. Not just old, but weird. There are two criteria to appear on this show. It has to be old, vintage, and it has to be weird. Weird stuff. What is it? You first. Rory, what do you think it is?
Has the gun of a gun.
Some type of a gun. Yeah, you're on the right. I got the right idea. You got a handle on it. What do you think, Rain?
I think it's a gun.
You think it's a gun too? Well, so what does it shoot?
Air.
This is a gun. It's actually called a gun, but it's called a slurp gun. Slurp, you know, like a Slurpee, or when you slurp your drinks and you're not supposed to. It's called a slurp gun because unlike most guns, as you know, shoot things, right? This doesn't do that. It sucks things. It sucks things. So here's how it's used. These are still available. I don't know. I'm not sure where now. Actually, I don't know if they're still available. I know they weren't not too long ago, but these were very, very common. And divers who lived near the ocean, near where there are marine fish, then they would use these to go out and collect fish. It's just that simple. That's what they would do. And with one of these guns, you can actually get close to, say, the little pretty little fish for your aquarium. You would get close to the fish like that and go.
Oh, that's not very nice.
That's not very nice. And the fish got sucked into the gun. And then you would squirt it into a bag and you could take it home to your aquarium. You don't think that's very nice? My McDonald's granddaughter. Anyway, a slurp gun. Very common and pretty weird. Okay, here we go. Here's another one. This is a really weird one. This is really weird stuff. Okay? Let me show you the gauge there, first of all, you guys out there, because you're guessing. I know that Rory and Rain are scratching their heads and saying, what the heck is that? A couple of hams here. And I want to show you this part too, Kevin, if you would take a peek over here as well. You can see here that there are 5 Borden tubes. And these are the closed ends of the tubes, 5 of them. Set of gears in there so that the gauge spins. So any ideas? Any ideas at all? Looks like a bomb, huh? Looks like something you see on Mission Impossible, maybe. Starts to tick. This is the only one of these in existence. This is it. One. This is it. It's a prototype of a mechanical decompression meter. As you probably know, you guys are specialists in decompression, you know that the body has 5 tissues. Well, I know I'm talking old technology here. Things have changed, but at one time it was felt there were 5 different tissues, and we counted the 5 different tissues as different tissues because they absorb nitrogen gas at different rates. And if you knew how much nitrogen gas was being absorbed, you could use that information to determine how much you had in your body and how long it would take you to get to the surface and so on to avoid decompression sickness. Well, this was a very early attempt to measure the nitrogen gas in your body. Hence, there are 5 different Borden tubes, each with a slightly different size opening, orifice. They are supposed to represent the 5 different tissues that absorb nitrogen gas at different rates. There was no way of knowing how quickly or how relatively each one absorbed gas, but they made up this device as a first attempt to try to measure nitrogen gas. And then those tubes, as they bent very slowly, under time, the information was transmitted by a series of gears and levers to a dial on the front. And depending on how long you were down, this dial would indicate how much gas you had in your body and the different tissues combined. There's only one dial. And that would help you to get back to the surface safely without suffering decompression sickness. It's just that easy. Now, what do we have for computers now? About the size of a Timex. This is not a wrist mount. But there it is. one only, prototype of the first mechanical decompression meter. One more thing. Okay, guys, what's this? Now, Rainey, you've had regulators in your mouth lots of times because you're a diver. And Rory, you know what a regulator is. You've seen them. I'm going to tell you, this is a regulator. Have you seen one like this before? I wouldn't think so. Yeah, pretty weird. Obviously, there's a place here. Let me just turn this a little bit. There's a place here. So you can put this into your mouth, right? Just look at mouth bits. This went around your neck. But what's all this other junk? Any idea? What's that look like?
The snorkel?
It looks like a snorkel, doesn't it? But you don't have a snorkel when you're scuba diving, do you? Not normally. With this one you do. This is why it's weird, okay? This is a fairly common second stage of a regulator. It's a U.S. Divers Aqua-Matic Deluxe. And it was pretty neat. Pretty standard regulator. First stage, second stage. But on the second stage, they inserted or installed a snorkel. So if you were underwater on scuba, breathing air from the tank, that was fine. When you came back up to the surface, you didn't take this out of your mouth. You didn't switch to your snorkel. All you did was reach around to the front and flip this lever on the front. Just turn that like that. The air from the tank turned off and you started using the snorkel. It's that simple. When you want to go back down, you had to remember to turn it back. So you got air from the tank, snorkel was closed off, and off you went. They don't make anything like this anymore. Pretty weird, huh?
Yep.
Okay. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope a few of you got some of them right. My granddaughters did a great job. Thank you very much, Rain and Rory. Maybe we'll see you again. Okay, guys, Alec, Peirce, Vintage Scuba. Weird stuff. What is it? See you soon.